My friend Lily and I were fulfilling a dream, our first international trip. We chose Paris and were excited to visit the tourist spots, take pictures at the Eiffel Tower, and stroll through the city streets. We booked an apartment on Airbnb, small but well located, close to the metro station, with good reviews. The host was friendly over messages, sent clear instructions, and even suggested some local restaurants. Everything seemed safe and well organized. When we arrived, the apartment was great and exactly like the photos. But on the very first night, something felt off. While taking a shower, I got this disturbing feeling that I was being watched. Later, lying in bed, I noticed a dark spot on the bedroom ceiling. It was subtle, about the size of a coin, but seemed out of place. I climbed onto a chair, grabbed a flashlight, and got closer to the ceiling. What I saw terrified me. A small lens discreetly embedded in the ceiling. Immediately, my friend and I started searching the apartment for other signs, and we found them. There was another identical device hidden behind a mirror in the bathroom, and one more, smaller, inside one of the smoke detectors. We panicked. I messaged the host demanding an explanation. He read the message but didn't reply. We tried to contact Airbnb, but their support would take hours. We called the police, and when they arrived, they confiscated the devices and filed a report. That's when the scariest detail came out. According to the initial forensic analysis, the cameras weren't just recording. They were streaming everything live through a hidden Wi-Fi network connected to a server outside of France. In other words, someone was watching everything in real time. The police launched an investigation, but the apartment owner disappeared. The information on the app was fake. The personal and banking data used to register the account belonged to other people. The listing was removed, and the case made local news for a few days. Then it faded away. I went back home in shock, feeling like something inside me had been violated. To this day, I avoid staying in places I don't know. I sleep poorly and wake up in the middle of the night, feeling watched. And the worst part is that my case wasn't isolated. Every year, new reports surface of guests finding hidden cameras in apartments around the world. Some record, others stream, and in many cases, no one knows who's on the other side of the screen. A group of friends and I decided to take a different kind of trip, exploring some isolated islands in the Caribbean, far from the usual tourist routes. We wanted adventure, nature, and of course, good stories to tell. One day, we hired a local guide who suggested visiting a little-known island, almost completely off the tourist maps. He said it was beautiful, deserted, and perfect for anyone wanting to escape the crowds of the popular beaches. We agreed immediately. We took a boat, and after nearly an hour of sailing, we arrived. The island really looked like paradise. White sand, calm crystal clear water, and tall palm trees swaying in the breeze. But as soon as we stepped ashore, we felt something strange. Absolute silence. No bird song, no insects, not even the sound of small animals. Just the wind and the waves crashing on the sand. It felt too deserted. The guide told us he would come back late in the afternoon and left us alone there. At first, it was peaceful. We swam, took pictures, laughed a lot. But when we decided to explore deeper into the island, we started noticing strange things. Old footprint in the sand, pieces of nets, and remnant of fire that looked like it had been used recently. "Someone's been here," one of my friends said, looking around suspiciously. The fun atmosphere began to shift. Suddenly, we heard a noise from the thick forest. Hurried footsteps snapping branches. "Is someone there?" one of us shouted. Nothing, just silence. We started heading back to the beach, but when we got there, the boat was gone. We were confused. Had the guide come back and left without us noticing? Or were we at the wrong part of the island? We ran along the sand, searching for another trail or sign of a boat, but there was nothing. The sea grew rougher, and heavy clouds appeared out of nowhere. darkening the sky. That's when we saw a silhouette among the trees, standing still, watching us. One of my friends screamed, but the figure didn't respond. It just turned and disappeared into the forest. At that moment, the tension turned into panic. Someone had followed the figure. Others thought it was safer to stay together on the beach and wait for the guide. We decided to wait. Time passed. Night fell, and with it, strange sound began echoing from the forest. Footsteps, breaking branches, whispers. We stayed awake all night, eyes wide open, surrounded by darkness and the feeling that we were not alone on that island. Only at dawn, exhausted and terrified, did we see a boat approaching. It wasn't the guide, it was a fisherman, surprised to find us there. We told him what had happened and asked about the island. He just shook his head and said, "That island, no one's come here for years. They say anyone who spends a night there is never the same again." We left in silence, still trying to understand what had really happened. To this day, no one in the group likes to talk much about that night, and no one really knows who or what was there with us